Hello everyone, welcome back. We're playing against Drain U. I'm not sure who he is. I think I've played him many times before. Very familiar. Berg Hansen from Denmark. And he's played the Dutch. And I'm playing one of the anti-Dutch systems. I'll demonstrate the point in a moment. It's a very rare move order, which has quite a lot of poison in it. If he goes g6, I can try to punish him with h4, and if he goes e6, there's another point. But yeah, now I'm not sure what's the move. Let's try knight c3, see what happens. A waiting move. G6 is the typical move here for Leningrad players. Against regular Dutch, some players, when I play now c4 over here, many players go knight f6, d6 and g6. So I'm assuming this is what he wants, but yeah. e6 is another option, of course, and I'm not sure how to play here. It's like the classical Dutch, but I don't have this c4 move that I normally do. I guess I can just go h3 and play g4 next, trying to exploit this early e6. Queen e7 wants to get e5 in, but I'm not afraid. e5, bishop g5, or de followed by bishop g5. Seems like I don't mind sacrificing the g4 pawn if it comes to that. Yeah, g6 is the logical move. Let's go here. I want to castle long and finish my development. I'm not sure what he wants next, but he did go g6 eventually, but for some reason he went e6, queen e7, and spent 2 moves, I guess, to stabilize his position like that. What's my plan now? Does he want something? I'm not sure. If I take, he wants to take with the pawn, right? Okay, let's go here. My idea is that if he takes with the g pawn, I'll just have rook g1 and take over the open file, and it will probably mark bad things for him in case he castles short. So yeah, he's going for the long castle, I'm assuming. And d5 is the typical pawn break in this structure, but maybe I can take first and consider what he does. If gf, maybe d5. If ef now, I think he's compromising his structure a little bit, although I can't say for sure. I'm not sure how to proceed, so let's go here. Knight d5 is the current threat. Knight f4 might be a follow-up. If bishop e6, I will play probably knight f4. Please notice that bishop e6, d5, he has knight e5 intermediate move. Yeah, now knight f4 as mentioned. I'm leading in development, but he doesn't have any real weaknesses yet, so the game is very complex. I should be better, but if I fail to exploit my lead in development, he might turn out better with the pair of bishops at some point and so on. So I believe in white's position now. Yeah, knight e7 is logical, aimed against my knight d5 related actions. Now I'll continue my development. Let's go rook g1. In case he goes h6, I want to put some pressure on this g6 pawn. I'll take, and then if he takes with the bishop, knight c d5, g6 pawn will be a little bit weak. Okay, this is another logical move by my opponent, but he's wasting too much time without developing. It should cost him. d5 is the logical move now, trying to break and open the center. c5 now is the follow-up. Yeah, and here I was thinking some 96 related ideas should be good, but what does he want? Even if it was here his move, I'm not sure what he will play. I don't see a move for him. Does he want b5? Okay, can go 96, but I'm not very convinced. Okay, h4. I want to prepare h5 and see what happens next. Add more pressure. This is a unique approach by my opponent. I think I can afford to go here. Seems like all my pieces are very active and going forward, and he still hasn't finished developing, so yeah. Now some h6 related idea should be nice. I'm searching for a way. And then knight e6 or something at some point. Looks really nice, but okay, I'll start by this move and then see what happens. He wants knight e4, so I have to strike the iron while it's hot. At least this is how I think when I look at this position. Now some bishop c4 related idea. He takes, I take on f6. Can also just go b3 and then knight e4. He will take on a2 at some point. No, he doesn't have time. Okay, I'll just develop. I want to bring a new piece with every move. I think it should be good enough. Taking here. Queen takes a2 is probably the best move, because rook g8 gives me time for b3. Yeah, now I guess I can just take the material, although b3 would have been quite nice as well, almost trapping his queen. Yeah, and he has some compensation. I guess I should have started with b3. Anyway, my position shouldn't be worse. And go here. He wants to take on h6 perhaps. I'm thinking what's the most active way. Okay, I'll just go here. Since my bishop is not doing much, I can use it to protect the h6 pawn. Yeah, now maybe try to attack somehow. Have to be fast. Okay, queen f4. Attacking d6 and preparing some queen h6 related ideas. In case he takes here, rook h1 and so on. I don't have much time left, so I'll focus on the speed. Knight c6 is powerful. Should have started with rook h1.
Check.
Okay. Can play rook h1 nevertheless. This will be a draw. I'm not sure if I see anything better, but I'll try to win. But knight e5, wow, this is nasty. Oh. Okay. 24 seconds left. I should have taken the draw with rook h1. Queen f6 is a threat now, maybe? Or at least an idea. He also doesn't have much time left.
Check. Check.
And
Check.
yeah, he's playing quite slowly, I have to admit. So far so good. He's thinking a lot. I like
Time
it.
warning. Check. 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 Check.
Obviously we're playing on time. Flagging is the main purpose in this time situation,
check,
not chess anymore.
check, check, black
And
forfeits
he
all
lost on
time.
time. What a lovely finish to a wonderfully complicated game. Let's have a look at the middle game that occurred. Okay, so this opening was nice. Up to this point I'm more or less happy with my position. I played very logically. H3, G4, putting pressure on his position, trying to take some space, castles. Up until here I'm quite sure I played very nice chess, at least by my standards. And yeah, now G5 immediately would have been more precise. No, my move was okay. Okay, computer verifies knight G2. Now rook G1. I took first. I wanted to see first who it takes back with. I was expecting GF. After he took here, as I mentioned, yeah, it's a bit less convincing. Feels like it should be worse. King B1 isn't how I imagined exploiting my advantage. Maybe H4, H5 immediately, actually, now that I look at the position and the computer suggests it. Yeah, it was the right idea, but one move later. But C6 definitely wasn't the most principled way. Rook B8 maybe, preparing bishop D7 or bishop E6 and castles next is a bit more to the point. Okay, I wouldn't even consider bishop E6 or D7 immediately, sacrificing the pawn, and if I take castles, especially in Blitz, I wouldn't risk opening the B file just to grab a pawn. Okay, so C6, I played D5, striking the iron while it's hot. Now knight E6, as I sensed, was the right move, but I wasn't sure if I want to take B7 after short castle. Let's have a look at the computer's variation here. If knight E6, he takes, I take, he takes, queen B7, castles. Oh, sorry, castles. And now bishop G2. Okay, it takes a really cold-blooded player to play like this. You have to be extremely materialistic to grab a pawn and then claim to be better. Even though he took the pawn, he sacked the pawn on E6, you just grab it back, opened up his B file. To me it feels like I'm just giving him counterplay in a position where he didn't have any. So I don't like this approach of taking B7 and then claiming to be better. Yeah, H4 is much more logical. Knight E6 now I missed, I have to admit, yeah. Now the rook is hanging and it's making so much more sense. And knight C7 is a huge threat, he can't even afford to take. So rook B8 and then I take on G7 and I'm just completely crushing him. Yeah, okay, H5, B4, knight A4. And in the game I should have played knight E6 immediately because I didn't want to allow knight E4. Computer says I bishop C4 immediately and only then knight E6, not sacrificing E6. I don't have to rush because this knight E4 move I can just grab E7 and G6 is hanging, which I didn't see. Yeah, and now I'm completely crushing him, steamrolling his position. So in the game I played H6, now bishop C4 once again, not afraid of. Here I don't have this immediate grab on G6, but knight E6 is probably more than enough. His knight is strong, but it's the only strong piece he has, so I shouldn't be afraid of it. And my pieces are putting much more pressure on his position. I wonder what's my next move though. Let's say he's just wasting a move with the bishop somewhere, or I don't know, just a random move. Rook G8, Queen F4, yeah, and then putting pressure on D6. Let's say he goes back, and knight takes C5. So his position will collapse eventually. Yeah, I should have realized it. This is my take. At 96 I was a bit too nervous to exploit my advantage straight away. Sometimes when you have more space and better pieces and your opponent is underdeveloped, you don't necessarily have to just attack and sacrifice your way into his position. Sometimes just slowly improving your position while developing your last pieces is the more educated way to convert. And yeah, especially practically, because he doesn't have any forced moves to respond to, and he might make a mistake. Okay, so back to the game. Queen f4 is a nice move, which I missed. So attacking d6 and preparing knight takes c5. This is actually worth mentioning. This, he has to take with the knight, and now this move bishop c4, and suddenly he is under huge pressure because bishop f6 is coming. So for example here, bishop f6, and he will lose material. Okay, so of course I didn't see it, otherwise I would have played this very nice idea. I chose this unique tactic. Bishop h8 was right actually. b3, which I wanted, allows c4, but if rook g8 I was right, evaluating king d2 will trap his queen, so b3 might have been a more practical approach. Yeah, takes on h8, and then I played this bishop g7 move here. Yeah, actually queen f4 once again was the right way. I kept missing this move during this game. And bishop g7. Yeah, queen f4 was right, and here I should have played rook h1 in my opinion, but computer verifies queen d6. Only now I should have checked on c7, and I'm assuming go rook h1 next. If he goes here, for example, yeah. Just ignoring rook d8 check because I have king e1 and he's not in time to attack me. I missed queen c7. I checked from d7 and now rook d8 is a huge threat. So I had to play like this. Yeah, now queen f7 was the right way. Keeping an eye on h7. So preparing this rook h1 with an attack. And yeah, now I'm still better, but not as much as before. And now it became a pre-move fest, you know? I'm not sure if anyone experienced how it is to play bullet or be in severe time pressure, but now it's no longer chess. It's just making random moves until someone wins on time, hoping to maybe mate in the process. So I was just trying to play very fast and avoid a draw. I don't like making draws or being afraid to lose. So I just try to make some moves and see what happens. And after king h6, yeah, f4 would have been better, but this was enough. More than enough to win. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something from this game. And if you want to learn some more, then keep watching the next video.